Do you remember when we did the stairs thing? Wait, hang on one second, bro. You remember when we did the stairs thing? Remember that a few weeks ago? And I showed you that no matter what, if you're poor, and a really interesting study just came out about differences, where you start is really largely going to shape where you end. As much as we want to believe that we can all be rich or whatever, by and large, where you start is where you're going to end. You remember when we did the thing on the stairs and I had the wealthier students and they're up here, and then we had poor students who were down here, right? Remember that? And do you remember what I said to the poor students? What are you going to do? Do you remember what I said? I said, there's nothing you can do. Just keep trying. You just keep going. And what I find is you can't blame anybody. If you sit back, we have this idea that people who experience discrimination just sit around and blame the system and don't do anything. And that's not the case at all. The people who are most likely to experience discrimination are actually the ones most likely to do exactly what the two of you just said, which is dude, just whatever it is, what it is, let me just keep working hard. But what we have is this ideology that we live with in the United States in particular. Y'all, here, listen to this. We have this ideology in the United States in particular that people who are most likely to experience discrimination, what do they most often do? Sit around and complain and don't try to move forward. When in fact, it's absolutely the opposite of what we see. We see people sit around and complain and then also work as hard or twice as hard as they would otherwise trying to move forward, knowing that they might have additional obstacles. So the idea of just whatever, embrace it and move on. That's the sentiment I hear from more than any other people. That is the idea or the sentiment that I hear from black people. It's yeah, man, I just deal with it and I move on. And what I find is that people have it's like a protective thing. If you have a sense, here, follow this, man, this is especially true of those of you who identify as conservatives, who I'm going to say, if you're watching Fox News and you identify, that's not conservative, by the way, nonetheless, if you watch Fox News, my gut feeling is you probably don't and have not and do not spend a lot of time having conversations with conscientized people of dark skin, who are really thinking and talking a lot about these issues and might be the very people who are complaining about it. But it's a lot easier to be up here in this place if I can imagine that the people down there who are complaining about the discrimination that may well have benefited me being here, that it's a lot easier for me to be here if I think that, they're just complaining and don't want to work hard. But in fact, that's not the case at all, man. I can go around the room and start giving the microphone to all sorts of black people and dark skin and Latinos in here and just ask them, what did your parents say about discrimination? And without across the board, you're going to experience it. You're going to have to work twice as hard. I'm not going to find anybody, not a single person. I've never met anybody. In fact, and I've lived in all sorts of neighborhoods. I've never met anyone who's just said, yeah, well, I'm just going to experience discrimination, so F it, I'm not even going to try. That's this ideology that has been imposed by this kind of strand of people in the U.S. who like to think that they identify a certain way, that are just trying to make excuses for their own position. But I never hear anybody saying that. Dude, seriously. Look, you understand, conservatives, can I just say something to conservatives? If you watch Fox News, can I just tell you something? I am a registered libertarian. I'm probably more right-wing than you are. Fox News is not conservative. It's just people just spewing out nonsense who never actually have conversations. And same with CNN and MSNBC, by the way. My God, you're better off watching Russian television.